Welcome to beautiful Colorado. I wanted to make a different type of video here today, which is talking about using Starlink. So I actually don't have it, but I'm with two of my friends here today, my buddy Aaron and Tomas. And Aaron has Starlink on his vehicle along with the whole solar kit and all kinds of other overlanding / living in his rig type amenities. And so what I've been doing is working off of Starlink today in this beautiful scenery. This is not a green screen. It's kind of crazy. It's incredibly beautiful. So what I thought I'd do is give you an idea of how Starlink works when you're out in the middle of nowhere. I have no cell phone service right now, and I'm able to get, fully featured internet. I'll do a speed test here on my laptop, and I've now been able to work 2 different work days this week and have had amazing success with it. Last night it was a little bit spotty when we were trying to just, watch videos and stuff in our campsite. But that was mainly because there wasn't a lot of open tree canopy at the place we were. However, here you can see there's very little trees. There's one right here that I'm using for shade, but otherwise this is, perfectly viable. So with the package that Aaron has, you can move around anywhere with this particular Starlink. It's a little bit more expensive than the monthly service, but really for me, I wanted to explore how viable is it to work from it, do Zoom calls, downloading website archives, uploading them to servers and that kind of thing. And so far I took my second biggest website ever live on Starlink out in the middle of Colorado, which was pretty epic. So that is proof positive to me that it works. Aaron's been out here about 2 weeks and he works remotely, but he still has to check in, every day, do Slack and video call and stuff like that fairly frequently. Yeah. It's perfect today.
I haven't had any issues. It's been working in the rain. It hailed on me, but it didn't hail while I was out, thankfully. But yeah, it's been working in the rain pretty well with fine speeds, so it's been good.
I found that in a Zoom meeting over the course of an hour, that if I was speaking and on video at the same time, the audio would be perfect, but the video could occasionally be choppy. So realistically, it's very, very capable. And as long as you're not trying to, live stream, which I think would be unrealistic, then it's going to work perfectly fine. I wanted to make this video primarily for how it might work for you as a web designer or, content creator of any description to utilize Starlink internet, even if you end up using it at home. If you have the, static one that doesn't allow you to move around like Aaron's setup does, and really explore, is this a replacement? If you have terrible internet, can you go ahead and get Starlink? And it definitely seems like it would be useful, especially if you have DSL or some kind of, over-the-air fiber internet delivery. Those, of course, can be really spotty and very particular about, orientation of the dishes and stuff. But the Starlink works perfectly. In Aaron's case, he just unpacks it, puts it out, in a field or wherever the open space is. There's a long cable that runs back into the car, and there is what is essentially a Wi-Fi router, and that is what's broadcasting. So you can see I'm sitting on a picnic table, Aaron's car is all the way over there, and I'm able to utilize the internet perfectly fine here on my laptop. So this scenery is way more beautiful, and something that I wanted to re-record my talking portions of this video and my thoughts after having used it for multiple days. Obviously this background is way prettier, but I'm going to cut to some footage that I recorded a couple days ago, just kind of showing you the dishes and Aaron kind of talking through his particular setup. I think it's very interesting, and if you're someone that's looking into kind of living on the go in any kind of setup, if you're an SUV overlander or van life or whatever, you might find this interesting to see how the dish works, and just kind of the nuts and bolts behind it. So we're going to cut back just a little bit.
Cool. So to shut down Starlink in the app, I have to go to settings, click on Starlink, and then I have to stow it, and you're going to see it's going to actually move. So now it's moving down, and now this is stowable. And then I'll just take the cord out and then just put it into my box.
Your prefab box.
Prefab. And then there's this little holder here for the base. That. And then I just throw this over just to kind of have a little...
To flex on people when they come look at your box.
Yeah, well hopefully they don't see the dish is the idea, although... Yeah. and then I just have this cable, so I just wrap it up. Super easy.
Easy.
And just shove it in the corner here.
Man, that's awesome.
And yeah, so now it's all stowed, and I just throw it in my trunk, and we're good to go.
Beautiful. So with that, I hope you found this video really interesting. Obviously not my standard WordPress tutorial content, but it was something that I found incredibly interesting. I think Starlink is one of the most interesting technologies to have come out in my lifetime. I think the fact that we're getting, 80 megabytes a second download speed in the middle of the woods with no cell phone service is just absolutely mind-bending. And the fact that there's thousands of satellites up there, all kind of beaming up and down, and that kind of stuff is really fascinating to me. So this is an exploration of tech topics that are related to WordPress and web design. However, of course, not specifically WordPress tutorial content. So if you find this kind of stuff interesting, I've considered doing more of this like home lab type stuff. And it's something that I feel passionate about and would be very interested to do more of. So if you found this interesting, let me know. If you have any questions about Starlink, of course, I've only used it for a couple days personally, but hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions here. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.